Okay. Well, hello there. I am back. I had to go get the laundry, drag that back, take two phone calls. So I'm busy this morning. Uh, didn't expect it to be this wild. Anyhow, welcome. I see I've got one. That's good. Uh, welcome. Glad you're here. And as soon as I catch my breath, we'll go with this. There we are. Yes. Don't be afraid to just join in, and say something. Uh, anything you want to talk about, we'll talk about it. I just had a strange one. What took me so long, I went over there. Somebody had taken the clothes out of the dryer, threw them in my basket, and it's all. I mean, they didn't use the dryer, they didn't do nothing. It was just. So I put the clothes back in the dryer and I hit the button. If the time was still there and all, the way it went. I have no idea what that was all about. Anyway, somebody was having fun. It, uh, as long as it makes them happy, I guess, just gotta laugh about life, especially in today's world. In today's world, if you can keep your sense of humor, you got it made. And at my age, I've made up my mind. I ain't worrying about nothing. It uh, it happens. It happens. I can't stop it anyway. Um, hey, see, we got another one now. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Glad you're here. The I put a different picture on there this morning when I opened up. I thought that was pretty cool. It's one of my favorite pictures. Um, I usually tell people that that's an uncle of mine, but uh, just to be funny. Anyway, this morning, if there's anything you guys want to talk about, jump right in. Otherwise, I'll tell you a couple of little stories about what happened to me, and I'm not sure. I did a few minutes ago there. I did a part of a video. I see. I just says I got one and like two and one. I don't know. I'm watching the numbers up there. Don't know what it means. So anyway, I don't know if to tell you. Should I tell you about my doctor's appointment or not because I don't know who's there. And I might have already told you. One thing we will discuss then, I will discuss video cards. How's that? I don't know if I got young people or not here. If you feel like telling me, who you are, that'd be fine. So I get some idea of what to talk about. We will discuss video cards this morning. I took my 960 out and I put in a 1650 Super. The big difference: the Super has a whole totally different insides than the 50 does. So I don't. Uh, if you just buy this plain standard 1650 video card, it's kind of like at a different level on its own. You get the Super though, and it's a whole lot better card. Actually, when you look at the specs and stuff on the thing, it's pretty darn close to getting up towards the TI and stuff end of it. Uh, according to, I'm just going on what I've watched a number of people do videos on that. Let's see. Oops, 1 minute, please. This is probably the doctor's office. Oh. Hello. Yeah, yes. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm back, folks. I got that number. Oh, here we go. Okay. I'm glad that you're here. It, what song is your ringtone? Uh, Silver Wings. It's yeah. Uh, Jimmy Buffett. It's one of his numbers. I got a whole bunch of his songs I made into ringtones, and I stay right with that one, the Silver Wings job. Well, thank you. I I'm not the greatest at that, but I'm glad you liked it, and I'm going to do one on the Far Cry. I forgot what the heck the name of the silly thing is. Far Cry New Haven, I think it is, or something like that. It's the nice shake up to the content. Well, I tried to do it different. Rather than open the truck and see what goodies was in it, I figured it was more fun to blow it up and let people see that you can do these things in that game. I like the Far Cry games. They This Far Cry 5 is probably the best one that they've had since Far Cry 2. I've did all the Far Cry games. The 2 was a really decent game. 3 and 4 were the same game as far as I was concerned. Okay, you played the second one. The second one is very good. That was the first Far Cry game I played. And then I went out and I dug up the first one because I wanted to play that. And the third and the fourth one, I won't give you the endings or anything. I don't want to spoil anything on it. But I didn't care that much for them. It was all right, but when I got into 4, it was almost the same as the third one. Okay, you did play enough of it then to see him get killed off already. Yeah, that's uh, 3 and 4 was 5 I like. 5 you get to live. Oops, I shouldn't. I'd be spoiling that on somebody. Well, thank you. I'll have to write that down. Pen keeps falling on the floor. Okay, soccer. I've heard of it. I just never, got around to it. Okay, I'll have to check on that. But I'm in the processes of moving right now, so my game plan will be kind of put aside for a little while. It the Far Cry 5 and the Far Cry 5. One second here. I better bring up something. No, I can't bring it up with the YouTube screen on. Oh yeah, I did. Finally got it up. Let's see if I can get that. It'll let me. No, it ain't there yet. Put that back where it belongs. The got to tell you what happened. Microsoft's one of its new updates is raising Cain with a lot of computers. Well, guess whose computer it's raised Cain with? Anyway, I had been holding this update off by hitting that you can delay it for 7 days. Well, I'd been doing that. Well, even delaying it, they finally just haul off and jammed it in there. And it does. It makes a mess of your computer. The first thing I noticed, I lost my Adobe. That was gone. It was there, but you couldn't use it. And I dumped it. I went to reinstall it. It wouldn't let you reinstall it. So that was the first thing I noticed wrong with it. And then it started asking me for my your ID number for your Windows 10. It lost that somehow. Okay, I put it in, didn't recognize it. Anyway, then all of a sudden, I'd fire up the computer and that's it. It's set there. I says, uh-oh, this is bad. So anyway, I went in. We went in with a zip drive and dumped the Windows completely. Had to do a clean install. After I did the clean install, everything worked fine. Now, it made us mad enough that we went into the system and we've set it up now so that it doesn't receive any updates of any kind from Microsoft. So now that can have its pros and cons too, you know. But what it'll do is it'll hold it off long enough so that they'll fix their stupid update somewhere down the road. And by that time, I can put the updates back on or something. So anyway, I've been, of course, when you dump everything and reinstall, you got to reinstall all your stuff. So I haven't got everything completely put back the way I want it yet. But one nice thing, Adobe went in nice. I'll bet you he is. I mean, he built something nice, built a nice little empire there, and he's got some people in there now that, I don't know, they don't care. First thing you know they did is they got rid of most of their development team. That's why they had all these, all the people, I was in on it too. They had us all in on this called Insider Program. And that wasn't a good deal either, because they'd dump all this untested stuff down on you, mess your computer all up, and then you start it all over again. But anyway, you know, they dumped a lot of people in the thousands that they just dumped them, and they were all developers and stuff. So now what they're doing is that when they come up, they put a bunch of updates together, they just dump it out there and let the people fight with it. But this one here, there's quite a lot of information out there on the internet about it. It's causing all kinds of havoc. And the worst thing is, it's been causing havoc for months. It's not something that just happened last week or something. And but that's getting to be the way the business world is today. We'll sell you a junk product, and that's another thing. You have to pay for this Windows program, but yet they just kind of do what they want with it. You bought it, but yet they own it. That's not a great deal either. I almost put Windows 7 back in, even though they don't, support it or anything. I was thinking of dumping, putting 7. I got 8. I could put that in, but I says, well, no, I'll put 10 back in. I kind of like the way 10 operates in some ways. Although my Windows 10, you would never know it's Windows 10 because I'm running that classic app on it, which makes it look like Windows 7. So uh, it, it's easier to run. But you're right. Bill Gates, I imagine, is, if he even thinks about it, maybe you don't even think about it. When you got that kind of money, maybe you just don't. I don't know. Well, it's like one of the washing machine companies. I think it's Samsung. I'm not sure. And I could be totally wrong. So, Samsung, please forgive me on that one. But the drum is coming loose in them, and basically, the machine's almost exploding. That's what they call it, is exploding. And but it's the drum is, they're making stuff too cheap. Everything's breaking, and that's sad because the appliance world right now, if you get 5 years out of something, you're doing good. If you get past the 5 year mark, it seems to be that you got something that probably lasts a little while. But I've talked to all kinds of people: the washing machines, the refrigerators. Uh, my wife's nephew, 2 year old refrigerator, died. So he paid to have it fixed. It was just out of warranty. So he paid. This guy put a new door seal on it, and this and that, and said, "Oh yeah, this will just that those are defective to come out, and this will take care of it." And $400 later, his refrigerator still ain't working right. And of course, he's contacted the company several times, and they won't do nothing for him. So he finally just went down and bought a new refrigerator, and with the extended warranty. That's another thing they got you on today. You got to buy extended warranties. If you don't with this junk, it's not going to. I've actually come out very well with extended warranties. I bought a Keurig coffee pot, and it worked fine until it got out of warranty. And I bought the extended warranty because it was only, at that time, I think it was $5 or some silly thing. And I bought the extended warranty, which was 2 or 3 years. I can't remember which now. But anyway, I was still under warranty when the pot died. I went down to give me a new pot. I mean, so I made out all right. It Over the years, I've had pretty good luck with these warranties. I remember when the CDs first come out, and the laser had a little laser in them, and but lo and behold, don't you know, the one I had just out of warranty, but I still had the extended warranty. Just out of the regular warranty, it had a meltdown. And so anyway, I went down and, oh, we don't make that model anymore. Pick any model you want. So of course I took the top of the line. But anyway, extended warranties, I've done good with them. I mean, I've done pretty well. I've had them on my cars. The last car I had it, and it more than paid for itself. But I got a Toyota now, and I ain't got nothing on that. So that's because Toyota's got a reputation. So I said, okay, hopefully. So what's happening with you today? Anything interesting? And I forgot what country you're from. I can't remember if you're in the States here or not. Not much, huh? Well, okay. I couldn't remember. I talked to you before. I got the people there from all over the world, but you got a bunch of young people from the Netherlands and stuff. And I think you were on the day that they were on, and it's kind of confusing me. You got to forgive me. I'm 77, so I you know, I tried something new. Looking for work, but being a stickler. Oh, you're in the state of Georgia. That's a good state. Well, yeah, I like Georgia. When I was in the service, I was all over the place, so I got to see a lot of different parts. Yeah, it's pretty hot down. Of course, I'll tell you something. Uh, we had your weather all summer. We've been in the 90s here, which is unusual for northern New York State. And I'll tell you that right now. Uh, you get a week or two of that, and that's a big deal. But we've had a whole summer of it, and my light bill will prove it. Uh, I just got the last one again, and that's pretty high. I'm running 3 air conditioners, and so I know what the heat is. I was down there, and but I'm kind of with you this year. I got out back is all swamp. Uh, it, it's a little swampy most of the time, but this year it's really swampy. I keep kidding the neighbors. I keep telling them, well, the alligators will be coming out pretty soon. Of course, down where you are, you're liable to get an alligator. Of course, that's a little further down from you, but the I told you I'm moving, and not a big move. It's about an eighth of a mile, but it's a brand new place. Um, in fact, that's they're yeah, yeah. I wouldn't care to have alligators in my backyard. Um, I know I was heard a noise. I don't know what it was. Cat's laying behind me over here on the windowsill. You can see there's Mr. Whiskers on the windowsill back there sleeping. Oh, there he is. So he's got his spot. But, okay, that's a good area. I bet he has a lot of stuff down there. It They got everything running around down there. Big snakes and everything else now, I guess. When I was down there, they had big snakes back in the 60s. Um, Once in a while, somebody bring a photograph in. Of course, in those days, you had to took a picture, and you sent it out and got it developed. You got it back a week later. But anyway, I once in a while, somebody bring in a picture of some big snake going across the road, which was, well, so big around, I mean, that was big. Now I guess it's kind of commonplace down there. They got all kinds of stuff that people turn loose. But evidently it's been going on for a long time because in the 60s they had stuff like that. And there's rattlesnakes they had. Uh, it I didn't really care for Florida. Uh, it was I don't know, too moist, a lot of swamp, as far as I'm concerned, and it was way too buggy. I'll tell you, got a lot more bugs than Georgia and Alabama's got. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, it's just a little bit different in it. It's not. It's not. It's not Georgia. That's for certain. I don't know. I kind of like Georgia. That was a nice state. It. I always thought if I was going to live down south, it'd be well, one of three places. It would either be Virginia, North Carolina, or Georgia, down through that section. It would have to be one of them three. It wouldn't. But you know, I don't know. I could. You put down roots. You see, I was born up here, and so I came back up here, and I just, you know, it. The winters used to be kind of rough. They got so now that the winters aren't. Last few winters haven't been bad at all. I mean, you know, you get a few major storms, but nothing big. And of course, once you get old and retired, you don't have to go out in a storm if you don't want to anyway, so you don't care. I mean, you know, but I remember fighting my way to work in a lot of snowstorms. In fact, I'd get to work a lot of times. A lot of other people didn't. They couldn't get through. But always had pretty good vehicles to get through the snow with. Yeah. Speaking of video games, have you ever played much of the Battlefield ones? You had, you know, Battlefield 4. Uh, that was the best one, I think. But anyway, then you had Battlefield Hardline. That was a detective one type. That was a good one. That was pretty decent. And then, of course, I always loved the Deus Ex series. I don't know if you ever played any of those. Those are good. I'm kind of I like the first person uh, games. Yeah, I've got Battlefield 3. I got a whole on Steam. I got a whole list of stuff I got. A lot of it I haven't played. Uh, the first one is uh, is different. It don't have the action. The later ones are much better, and you have to get the real Deus Ex. There's a couple of rip-off uh, Deus Ex type games out there that are just they're early ones, but the Deus Ex Mankind, that's something to do with mankind. Um, I thought that was a good one. Um, thing I used to like about like that first one. I don't know if you've tried it or not. There's a lot of weird stuff you can do in that game. How I got into the Deus Ex series, my buddy calls me up. He says, "You got to get this game." I says, "Why?" He says, "Oh," he said, "I do awesome stuff with it. There's a part in there where there's an office, down below because you can go up on this balcony light. And these women are all sitting at their desk. Well, he'd kill one of the guards, grab it, and throw it over. You could actually pick stuff up and throw it, not just drag it and toss it. You could pick it up and throw it. And so he'd throw these down on the women's desk. They'd all go screaming out of the building. He thought that was, really realistic, and he thought it was hilarious. So anyway, I got it. That's how I got into it. So if you when you're playing it sometime in that one section, oh, you're over in, is that when you're over in China somewhere? Or Japan? I can't remember now the whole total of the game because I haven't played it in years. But you're over somewhere, and you end up into this complex, and you got to take the elevator up and down different floors and stuff. And anyway, that office thing, I think is in the beginning of that. I think that's the sequence. And you can have fun. A lot of these games, you can have more fun not playing the game, just by messing around. That was the thing with Duke Nukem. It's the first Duke Nukem game. It was more fun to just take a grenade launcher and blow holes in walls and stuff and blow the clock off and stuff like that. You could shoot the clock and different stuff, and it was more fun just to tear up a whole area than it was to, play the game itself. And just for the fun of it, I ended up with the new Duke Nukem one. I played a little of that. I didn't care for it, but anyway, I played a little bit of it. I won that. Every once in a while, well, there used to be a group that I used to mess with that they give away certain games if you beat this and did that. So I got quite a few games that way. I'm very unorthodox in the way I play, so that kind of messes them up. And but the first thing you want to do in these games is get a sniper rifle. That's the first thing you do is you get a sniper rifle. And I don't play live games much. Number one, I'm an old man, so it takes me a little bit longer to do certain things. And I'll never forget, I was playing one of the, I don't know, a Battlefield game or what? It was a war game. I think it was Battlefield 3 or 4 of the live deal. Anyway, kids I was playing with were swearing at me, and so I just couldn't resist. I took the sniper rifle and I took them all out. They were mad at me. I told them, I says, you mess with me? I says, I'll have to do it. Well, hello, how are you doing today? I'm very glad you're here. Hope we're not boring you with video game talk, but that's what we're going on with, and we'll talk about anything. You got subject, we'll join you. Well, that's cool. I like in those games. I like to just get in there and explore, and sometimes you can find some pretty wild stuff in them. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the name of the series there. Yeah, mine went blank. There you go. I'll have to try that. I'll have to try that. And we're very glad you're with us today. Hello there. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty good, by the way. I'll answer everybody at once there. Uh, yes, good morning to everybody. I'm ain't that an awful thing? My mind went totally blank on that series I was going to mention to you. I'm doing pretty good. I'm for an old man. I'm doing great. I doctors keep putting me back together, so I'm doing all right. Yeah. I try to stay out of crowds and stuff. I don't want to catch this silly virus thing. Uh, that's a strange bunch of stuff. I'm out of northern New York State in the USA. Uh, that's where I'm at. The spent most of my life here, except when I was in the service. Then I was all over the world. But, we kind of put down roots. Wherever you're born, you kind of, I don't know, half the time you end up staying there. And I originally, when I got out of the service, I planned on going south, but that didn't work out. Never had, never got to. If you're referring to my wife with how she's now, uh, she's still having troubles walking, and it is fun. Yes, coffee, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Well, I'm doing pretty good. I finally got time to do a live here, and got some good people on here. And Spud happens to be from in my area, so we go to coffee once a week. Oh, you're going to leave us already? Well, I hope to see you soon. Yeah, Spud's right from around me, so we do our coffee thing every Saturday morning. You take care too, and you have a good day. And hope to see you soon. Check out her channel. You're very welcome. There goes my pen again. Yeah, this moving is an interesting thing. Uh, we're still packing, of course, Of course, we can't get in the new place until September anyway, but because they're still building it. And I was in it yesterday, and they're doing pretty good with it. They got the the inside getting pretty well finished. They got to put the kitchen in yet, and things like that. But they're getting there. They're doing a nice job. Spud, you want lunch or what? Oh, it was just jumped in there. I don't know. There we go. Okay, well, let's get back into here. I'm trying to think of that series. Oh, golly. It's like knights and stuff, you know. You got your sword and you go out searching the whole countryside. That was a good game. They had, I don't know, several of them in the series. Oh, no, oh, that's slow games. Okay, Spud, we'll catch you later. Yeah, you got it. The Elder Scrolls, that one. I'll tell you what else is good is The Witcher Wild Hunt. That's pretty awesome game. I completed it, and then I bought the add-on pack, and which looked very good. And I got in there, and I couldn't kill anything. It was, I don't know whether I don't understand how the because it was just a continuation over, and when you get there, you just don't have the anything to do with. The I played started to play. It might have been the second one. I don't know where it starts out where he's got to escape from prison. Started that and didn't get too far into it. And I don't know. I never, for some reason, I got taken away from it. Never really got back into it. I have to someday. Trouble is, see, uh, I go on Steam there. I got probably, oh, I don't know. I got a list yay long of games on there, and as I say, which I was playing with that one group, and you would win games, and I was winning stuff like crazy, and I also got that. Having an awful time this morning remembering this stuff. Isn't that awful? I think I'm going to have to get some Predigen and start taking that like crazy. Short time memory is a little bit, when you get old, is what happens. But no, The Witcher, that Wild Hunt there, if you get a chance to play that, it starts out a little slow, but it's a very good game. Awful lot to it, and it's got a awful lot of stuff you can do in it. And the graphics are awesome. The the Far Cry series too. The graphics are pretty good. They're not as good as the Witcher Wild Hunt, but they're pretty decent. Um, the new the add-on, or it's ain't an add-on, it's a standalone game, but it acts like an add-on. The Far Cry 5, I keep wanting to say New Haven, but I'm not sure that's what it is. But anyway, it takes place after the nuclear bomb goes off. And that, I think, is better than the regular Far Cry 5 myself. It's different, totally different type of game. I mean, it's Far Cry 5, but it's like Far Cry 5. It's set in the same set, except everything's blown up, and it's like being in. It's like some of the Fallout series. You know how that's all. Well, that's what they did with this, and it's very interesting. I think I enjoyed it better than the Far Cry 5 one. I mean, I enjoyed the Far Cry 5, uh, but it didn't have quite the weird stuff. Far Cry 5 had being that was a cult that was taken over. They got into uh, almost like magic or something with it. They just all of a sudden you'd be in the middle of the game, and all of a sudden you were somewhere else. They just teleport you into wherever they wanted to, and then you had to figure out how to get out of there. There was one in there when you first start out in it. It's a son of a gun because you don't know what the heck you're doing, and all of a sudden you appear in this room, and there's two guys sitting there. Well, they'll jump up and shoot you. Well, there's a pistol laying on the table, so you've got to grab the pistol and shoot these two guys. Then you've got to work your way out of there, but it's timed, and you've got to be moving, and so you can grab a different weapon along the way, but you got to keep shooting people. And the more people you shoot, the more seconds you got to get through this thing. And first several times I tried to get through, of course, when you start into it, you don't really know what the heck you're doing. And I was timing out like a son of a gun. I go, wait a minute, you don't get enough time to go anywhere in this thing. Then I figured out, oh, wait a minute, you shoot that guy, you get so many more seconds on your clock. And the more people you shot, the better off you were on the way out. And at the same time, you couldn't explore none. You had to just shoot and run. And you actually have to go through that about 4 times, 3 or 4 times in the game before you finally are done with it. It starts out, the first one, you got this Faith. She is kind of a mystical thing. I mean, she just kind of brings you into her little world, and but that is not as bad as that other one. That other one was rough to get through. Uh, Being the fact of throwing stuff at you, you have no idea, Uh, you start out, you don't even know it's time when you start out at it, but it's interesting. Yeah, you might have. It's kind of like, oh, she's this girl that just kind of runs around in it, and uh, she just disappears if you try to shoot her. And anyway, she shows up in the game in different places in that one section, but then you get into her world where she takes you. Oh yes, I have the Half-Life games. They were good. Yes, I guess there's a newer one out now. I think I don't know. It's newer. It's just something that they dug up. But all of a sudden, I see Steam had one there a while back that I hadn't played. It's a new one. Uh, No, I haven't. Never played that one. Of course, there's so many games out there. Oh goodness. It. Of course, you had all the Fallout series there. Worst thing is with the Fallout series is if you play Fallout New Vegas or uh, any of them, and then you play the last one. It's all the same. It's basically all the same game in a way. Um, it's fun to explore and wander around in, but you know I played them all. I enjoyed them, but they by the time I got to the last one, it was pretty repetitious. I mean, it was almost the same game over. Well, it was like Far Cry 4 and Far Cry 5. They're almost the same game. I mean, yes, they're in a different setting and uh, like that, but it's the same gameplay, really. The If you play both of them, you'll find out, that 4 and 5 are pretty close. Now, Far Cry, the first one, that was pretty wild, except the graphics were very primitive by today's standards. And back in its day, if you could have played it when it was new uh, out there, it would have been great in its day. Yeah, New Vegas was cool. I think New Vegas probably was the best one of the whole bunch, really. I liked it pretty well, but the later ones, uh, they started to get repetitious because they were almost the same stuff. But New Vegas was totally almost a totally different game all on its own. Yeah, and the Far Cry, the first one, uh, you you end up on this island. See if this rings any bell. And you got all these. Well, not only are you shooting the people, you got all these mutant creatures you have to shoot. Yeah, that was a neat deal. Uh, I enjoyed. In fact, I think I played. I must have probably played it about 3 times. I usually take these games once I get through them. I'll play them a different way just to see. Oh, I know the one I'm trying to think of right now. There's a. Oh, what was the name of that? Did you play the? This was a space job. Uh, there was three of them. First, second, and third. And whatever you did in the game affected the next game. What's the name of that? Can't think of it right now. Maybe I can look up something. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Andromeda. Okay. Uh, the ones before that. Oh, I didn't go very far with Andromeda. I thought that was a piece of garbage and so did everybody else. See what they did is there was 3 games ahead of that. I wish I could think of the title of them. Mass Effect. That's it. You got it. The Mass Effect trilogy. See, what sold the Andromeda, as everybody thought it was going to be like the Mass Effect series, uh, and it was horrible. I messed with that for a little while. I said, no, this is horrible. Yes, yes, the second, I agree with you. Second one was the best one. That last one was horrible. One more, home again. Hello? Oh, I haven't got out of here yet. I got close to full. So, I'll get out of here. Back again. Sorry about that. Let's see what we got here. We got Trisha's Kitchen. Hello there. The must be advised on a game. Another one there. That was my wife. I'm going to have to go pick her up in a couple of minutes. So I'm going to. I was waiting for an answer on that one myself. I'm glad everybody joined us today. That's cool. You never played a game. You advise something. You want us to recommend a game for you, huh? Are you going to play it on your computer, or have you got a console to play it on? It's going to matter because some of these games are way low on some things and not on others. I should be looking at the camera once in a while, I suppose. I get to look at the screen. Anyway, That's all right. I use Google Translate a lot myself. I have I have people from all over, and got a couple from Turkey, and different places. And some of the languages I can pick up enough off of it to have an idea what they're talking about. But I get into like Turkish and uh, Ukraine, Russian, and all this stuff. I have no idea what they're talking about. Uh, I have to I have to Google it, and they'll send me a message a lot of times, and I'll Google what they had for the message, and I'll Google back my answer, and then I'll proof it though. I'll always put it over there and let it translate back into English. Make sure that it come out right, not you know. Yeah, I had a high school teacher way back that he learned Russian, and he went down to a we have a oh, it's about 50 miles from us. We have this little monastery, and they're some kind of Orthodox monks or something that are there. And he always was going down there to talk with them. That gave him a chance to use it, and he was pretty good with Russian. And of course, in those days, they didn't teach any of those languages in our schools. You either take Latin or French, and Latin, of course, was totally useless to anybody because nobody's speaking Latin anymore. And the thing is that high school French and French are almost two different languages. Uh, my family, uh, my father's side was all French, and I grew up with my grandmother speaking French to me. Uh, so I thought, well, gee, when I got in high school, I said, I'll ace this. I'll just go ahead and take this French course. Good Lord, it was almost like a totally different language. Uh, the pomme de terre is potato in French. It's patat, and regular French says patat. So, uh, you know, and yeah, Spanish is a good language to learn. You know, that's one of those languages that you can. If somebody writes it out, there's a few words you always can find a few words in there that are close enough that you know what they're talking about. Well, we're sure you're a wonderful person too. It's nice of you to say we were wonderful, and we hope you'll join us when we get together anytime. I'm going to have to go and pick up my wife here very shortly, so just 1 minute. I got another phone going. That one. From Babcock Gregory. I'm not going to answer that one because I never get off the phone. Call from Babcock Gregory. It yeah. I don't know what to recommend for a game for her. Oh, wait a minute. That's I think I'll leave that up to you to recommend one because I can't think of one right now that for somebody starting out. Uh, Probably one of the simpler ones, I would imagine. Right now, I haven't. I would think that with this computer, he's going to have to stay to kind of a one of the older, simpler games. Although he probably would run any of the Sherlock Holmes ones. Uh, there's one or two of them that are fairly. You know, that would never run, stuff like Battlefield 4 and stuff like that. I don't think. Um, yeah, yeah, the points and clicks that it would run most. Well, how about the that series? There's three parts of it there, where guy's always going down and battling all the stuff underground. Oh, can't think of the name of it. Having one of those days. Well, guys, I got to go pick up my wife. I'm going to have to cut it short. That's the one I had in mind, though. There was one there. Oh, can't think of it. They made three parts. Listen, guys, I'm going to have to go. Uh, I really appreciate this, and you take care of everything in Georgia for me, and I hope to talk to you again real soon. Uh, as I say though, with this moving, I don't know how much computer stuff I'm actually going to get to do. So everybody have a good day. God bless you all, and I'm going to leave now, and I catch you all later. Thank you.